That wording is yours.
Señor Canel. But that doesn't get you off the hook. Because now we have a task. Because each and every one of you know somebody who says, the election is not a big deal. This one's important. This one's critically important. Our nation, for the first time, and I see a lot of young faces here, for the first time in a long time, our democracy is at stake. It really is at stake. We're confronting a party that wants to re-educate our children. Now, for those of you that live in Cuba, those that live in Venezuela or Nicaragua, ustedes saben lo que es reeducar a sus hijos, ¿verdad? You know what that means, right? You turn your children against their parents. And that's a foundation. And the national media needs to understand what we're talking about because we've lived it. You see, the city of Hialeah, this city, is full of people who have had to leave the perverse ideology of communism and socialism. This city is built by people that are not going to get fooled by these ideologies. We know that the most effective government is the government that gets the hell out of our way.
Yeah.
Now we're blessed to live in a free state. And it's a free state because we have the best governor.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you saw the debate between Charlie Crist and Governor DeSantis. Okay? If you could hear between the sound of the fan and Charlie's hair kind of moving and Charlie had the audacity to say that Governor DeSantis closed the state. Were we living in the same world at that time? I mean, this state stayed open and maintained its prosperity and was ahead of everybody else because of Governor DeSantis. Governor DeSantis has led us like no other governor has led us. And what about his beautiful wife? What courage. What courage. And he has a challenge for each and every one of us. Each and every one of us has to go out tomorrow. Make sure our friends come out. Make sure our loved ones come out. You know, the ones that want to do all day sending messages on Twitter and on Instagram. They gotta come out. They gotta come out. And we need to vote Republican from top to bottom. From top to bottom. And folks, I know this. At some point tomorrow, at 9 o'clock, at 8:30, I'm not sure. We're not only going to deliver the state of Florida and make it bright red, but we're going to make this nation great again. Yeah! God bless Marco Rubio. God bless Governor DeSantis. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the city of Hialeah. Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Chief Financial Officer of the state of Florida.
Is Stevie still here? Yeah, Steve. Where's Stevie? Where's the mayor? Mark Cuban. Anyway, thank you so much for being here tonight. Aren't you ready to turn Miami-Dade red? I've never seen this type of momentum in this part of the state ever. I've been doing this about 17, 18 years now, and you've got the opportunity to run up your score. You got the opportunity to help us that we will not tolerate what is happening in other states in the state of Florida. You're doing an amazing job. Governor DeSantis has had courage. He has fought. He has pushed back against Joe Biden. He has pushed back against Fauci. He has made sure there is not going to be a vaccine mandate on our children. He's working with me. He works full up with me. He's still here. Where's Mandy go? Mandy did too. All the other stuff. Mandy, you should be so proud of what Mandy's doing in Tallahassee. He's not just doing it in Tallahassee, he's doing it all 57 counties. You've got a beautiful son of Hialeah who's given up time from his family, from his life to do best for our future, our generation, our most precious investment, our children. You should be blessed enough to have a man like him working with you in Tallahassee. It's a state where making it known that we're no longer a purple state. Florida is a deep red state. We're a conservative state, but we're not put up with socialism. We're not put up with capitalism. As a state of Florida, and Governor DeSantis has been leading the way. He's done an amazing run made by Jeanette in this group. Is Jeanette still here? Is she not yet? Jeanette's still coming up. Jeanette's amazing. You've got such good people. You've got Katie Brett. He's amazing. You've got so many good folks that go to Tallahassee and they fight for you every single day. Thank you for what you do to support them. But more importantly, let me ask you all a question. Raise your hand if you voted. Okay. There are votes to be had. There are votes to be had. We've got a historic opportunity again. I said we're running the sport. So please, and make sure they vote tomorrow or Tuesday. Tomorrow, Tuesday. Well, they got all 2 months. Hey, look, last thing. They got your phone. They got your phone. Got your phone. There goes the phone with the other phone. All right, put this phone number in there. 850. That's the one that you fixed back. Come on. 850-583. 1817. It's in. 305-244-4428. Hold us accountable. I gave you my number because I want you to hold us accountable. Your local government, your state government, your federal government. You've got amazing congressmen. Maria's doing an amazing job. Maria's doing an amazing job. But hold us accountable. There's no excuse run the table, make a difference. Not only in the state of Florida, but nationally. God bless you. I love you all.
Please welcome from Florida's 25th congressional district, Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart.
One day, man, one day.
First, let me look at it. Because you know why? Remember, I'm working in D.C. It's so refreshing to see fellow American patriots like you.
Yeah.
Let me first say a few words in Spanish. But let me just ask. Primero, yo siempre comienzo dando las gracias a Dios y a esos individuos que son voluntarios y nos protegen día a día, protegen esta libertad. Vamos a dar las gracias a los hombres y mujeres de las Fuerzas Armadas. I always start by thanking everyone in the United States Armed Forces for leading us. And also, in the state of Florida, we revere our first responders and volunteers. I'm here with my wife. And first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for what you are doing. Thank you for your belief in the United States of America. Thank you for your patriotism. Thank you for standing up for what's right. And thank you because you know what's going to happen because of you. We're going to re-elect the best governor in the entire country.
Yeah.
And because of you, we're going to do a few more things tomorrow. If we continue to do our work, right? We're not done yet. Those that have not voted, we're going to find a way to make sure that we take them as something we need to do. Our friends, our relatives, make sure because we know what's at stake. And while some like to talk about misinformation, and while some like to say that I have some news for those that say that. This community understands socialism. You may not. This community understands what the word progressive means. You may not. And this community is for socialism is going to come and die. When they try to tell us that the economy is in great shape, we know that. When they try to tell us that we invented the word inflation, no, we invented it. We just didn't have to use it until the Democrats took control of everything. And what I think we're going to see tomorrow, with your help, is, as I said, we're going to re-elect this governor and lieutenant governor, our lieutenant governor. We're going to re-elect a tremendous U.S. Senator, Marco Rubio.
Yes.
Statewide, we pick up 4 Republican House seats, I believe so, congressional seats. And we're going to keep running the beat up and possibly the next as well. So you look at me, you know what this is going to see, don't you? You know the first thing we're going to do? The first thing we're going to do in the new Congress? Yes, we're going to fire Nancy Pelosi. Second thing we're going to do is I put it in these terms. Those almost 90,000 new IRS workers who think that they're going to be out there knocking on our doors, middle class America, working class American small businesses. No. They're going to have to look for another job. Look, I don't have to tell you what's at stake. You know what's at stake. We are fortunate and blessed to live in the greatest nation in the history of this country. And we're not apologetic about this great nation. And with your help, we're going to continue to make sure that our children, our grandchildren, inherit the country that is the most prosperous, the wealthiest, the most giving, the most generous country in the history of humanity. So, again, gracias por lo que están haciendo y gracias por lo que van a continuar haciendo. Gracias por nunca confundirse.
Eso.
Con su ayuda. Mañana por la noche vamos a poder celebrar una victoria del pro-americanismo, del pro-progresismo, del pro-progresismo. Muchísimas gracias. Que Dios los bendiga otra vez. Diciendo, esta gran nación nos da vida plena.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Alexander Otaola.
Feliz de ver a tantos jóvenes cambiarse al Partido Republicano. Estoy feliz de ver a tantos jóvenes que no se dejan engañar por las doctrinas en las universidades y en los colleges. Estoy feliz de ver a jóvenes, nietos, hijos de cubanos, de personas que llegaron después de perderlo todo en las manos del socialismo y del comunismo. Estoy muy feliz que las nuevas generaciones de estadounidenses y de cubanos americanos no se dejen engañar con el cáncer de la izquierda. Por eso es tan importante lo que está sucediendo ahora y lo que va a suceder mañana. Por eso es tan importante que todos, absolutamente todos, salgamos a votar. Votemos republicanos de arriba abajo y entre todos salvemos a América del peligro en el que nos quieren impulsar los demócratas. Hoy los demócratas no son los demócratas de hace 20 años, ni de 30 años, ni de 40 años. Hoy necesitamos un gobernador como Ron DeSantis. Que planteen cara directamente, sin miedo a que dirán, frente a estas ideologías que destruyen, que arrasan y que separan a las familias. Hoy necesitamos un gobernador como Ron DeSantis que ha protegido la familia, que ha protegido la educación, que ha autorizado, ha firmado la ley anticomunista para que los jóvenes en las universidades sepan del verdadero peligro del socialismo y del comunismo. Hoy necesitamos reelegir al mejor gobernador de todos los Estados Unidos. Cuando nos dijeron que la única solución era cerrar las escuelas, las iglesias, ponernos una mascarilla, ahí estuvo Ron DeSantis, nuestro gobernador, para plantarle cara a Washington y decir, mis floridanos son libres y deciden. Cuando quisieron impulsar la agenda de la comunidad LGBT, obligatoriamente para niños menores de 7 años, ahí estuvo Ron DeSantis diciendo, queremos que nuestros niños cubanas a nuestra comunidad cubano-americana y a todas las comunidades, como la nicaragüense, como la venezolana, que han plantado cara a esta ideología fracasada y asesina. Por eso, porque somos anticomunistas y antisocialistas, porque conocemos el daño que hacen estas ideologías, porque queremos nuestra familia unida y queremos una nación próspera y libre, votamos, señoras y señores, por Ron DeSantis. Dios bendiga a América, Dios bendiga a Ron DeSantis y Dios bendiga a todos ustedes. Mañana a votar que el tsunami rojo
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Jorge Masvidal.
Big day tomorrow, so I just want to talk from my heart, shoot from the hip, and just like we're having a conversation, right? Start off like this. I've been fighting for professional for 20 years, and amateur maybe 4 or 5 years. And in those 25 years of experience, I fought majority of the time for me, myself, and my dad, my mom, my kids, my immediate family after that, but mainly just us, you know. I'm here today to speak on a couple people that don't fight like me, that actually fight for you, your kids, me, and everybody. These people are DeSantis. That name alone says freedom. Here's about Ashley Wounded. You know who Ashley is? That's the one who's fighting the federal government. Not putting the mandate vaccine. What man he is. Another great fighter that's always on the floor. They don't care about what the media says about. They're actually fighting it for us. Jeanette Nunez, let's go. Let's go. Another one is fighting for us. He's a fighter. Fighters. Let's talk about people that are not fighting for us. I'm not trying to hate them, right? We're war with just 2 years ago on a global scale, on a national scale, on a city scale. You know, Florida's grown because of our great government, but how about the rest of the country? You know, how about the gas right now? How about the inflation that's happening everywhere? California's like 5 something. Yeah. That brings up the cost of goods for everybody, not just for them, because they got to drive those cars over here. What's happening, you know? I got so many questions. Why would the withdrawal in Afghanistan, why was it so bad? And we're keeping talking right now, going to war. We want Biden taking us to war as our president to change that. Time after time, how shitty this guy can be. All the times, at every chance to get it up, sure messes it up. You know, if anybody has something nice to say, like I said, it's open dialogue. Like anybody has something that Biden did that you're like, yeah, that was you know, good. Raise your hands. Maybe the border crisis that we have, right? The Chinese dumping fentanyl, illegal immigrants, criminals, the fentanyl, the child trafficking that's going on, the sex trafficking that's going on. What's going on in there? And so, Brandon.
Let's go, Brando!
As I look around this crowd, there's a majority of what Latinos here. And most of us have what? Our parents, or the very people here escaped that horror movie, socialism or communism. Y'all know who we are? You can't say that to them. California just found out about communism and they adopted it, and the rest of those democratic individuals are doing socialism. But we know about that horror movie, how it starts, how it ends. We're not falling for that no way, no how, not today, not tomorrow. We're not going to let kids fight. we're not even going to let our kids have to know over here. We're going to fight for it right now, today, and we're going to fight for it. Let's go. These people that I mentioned on this ballot are doing it, not for me, not for you, for everyone. Even for the people on the other side. They bring freedom. Some of us live in town. 10,000 jobs, tech jobs were created in Florida. Number one in this year, beating out California and Texas. In total, we were number two in the nation of most tech jobs. Why? Why is it because of the weather and the food here? Because of the great policies that we have. We let free and come work. There's 2,000 jobs alone created in Miami and state industry. These are some of the smartest people in the country coming over here saying, hey, this is what freedom looks like. I'm moving, I'm gone. I'm done with that. I'm done with all this craziness. I want to live a regular good life. I want to work hard, be able to provide for my family. I don't want you telling me I have to take a vaccine, I have to do a test every day. Not live my life for fun. We need to come farther than ever. Everybody here needs to get 10, 20, 30, 40 friends. It's not over. How many of you have voted? How many are coming in strong tomorrow? Coming in strong tomorrow. I'm bringing as many people as I can. I try to do this as much as I can just to spread freedom. A lot of people ask me, why do you care so much? I'll tell you why. I don't give an F if I get these platforms. I don't care if I don't make any more sponsorship money. I don't care what happens. Freedom, freedom. Everywhere I go, some people feel harder than others. But nobody always feels harder than Caribbean. People from Miami, because we know what's at stake. We know what's at stake. So tomorrow, you know what to do now. There's some great speakers after me. We're gonna blow this roof off. So please put your hands together for the heart. Let's go. Let's bring it in heart tomorrow. Right? America. Like USA. Florida free.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Attorney General Ashley Moody.
Thank you so much for showing up tonight. Election Eve tomorrow. Together we make history in Florida. Yeah. Why are we going to win independence and women? Miami-Dade County.
Yes.
And look at the difference between our gubernatorial candidates. In the fiercest of political winds, in the face of such criticism, we had a governor that stood strong, stood his ground with courage and conviction. And on the other side of things, we have someone who has taken every political position imaginable, has been a member of every political party. I would say he is really more like a political windsaw. And the Democrats know that their party has totally gone off base and no longer is grounded in reason. And how do we know this?
It's a big event.
Gavin Newsom from California just came out and said he can't believe his party. They're failing on messaging. No, you're not failing on messaging. You have no substance to message. Now the political pundits have reverted to name calling. Have you heard that we women are going to vote Republican apparently are compared to roaches? I don't know how they think that's going to get more votes. And if all else fails, they'll just deny. When Mayorkas was in Congress, he was like, hey, our policies aren't causing this. If we rescind Title 42, that's not a security risk. Well, it's a good thing Florida is in court right now. We showed, under oath, we showed the Border Patrol chief saying, if you rescind Title 42, it's a security risk. The policies are causing a surge. It is a good thing Florida is in court fighting for you and for this country. So Americans know what's really going on. Because if you leave it to the White House, I'll just tell you what the press secretary said. It's not happening. Nobody's walking across the border. That's just silly. Silly. And if all else fails, the name calling, the denial, then they just push Biden out to confuse everybody. He said last week, and I quote, there is a lot at stake at the midterms. The economy, safety on our streets, our freedom. I said, I don't agree a lot with President Biden, but I agree with you, President Biden. I get it. You want us to vote for Ron DeSantis. This is an important election. When I tell you we've been fighting for the last 2 years to make sure that Florida was free from federal cram down into our state, to make sure you could earn a living, to make sure you could go to church, to make sure you could send your kids to school. My favorite denial was when they tried to say to Democrats that we were the ones who wanted your kids back into school. Do you remember when they sued Governor DeSantis, because I knew I was the Attorney General, and he wanted your kids in school? They sued him. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for spreading the word to Governor DeSantis to strong for your freedom. You know, we have a sister state called Texas, and that they fight real hard too for individual liberty. When I got into office, I'm like, you know what? When I'm doing all this fighting as the Attorney General, we need a saying like, don't mess with Texas. I need something like that. Some strong, yes, maybe some alliteration. Don't fight in Florida. Don't fight in Florida. Tomorrow, I need you guys to show up. I need to get your families to show up. I got a big family, fifth generation. Every one of them are going to the polls. I'm going to make sure that it gets there. You need to do the same. We're going to stand for families, for kids, for the rule of law, for freedom, for life. We're going to stand for Florida. Those who like your freedom depend on it because they do. God bless you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Florida Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez.
Yes, yes.
Because we're the party of faith, family, and freedom. La fe, la familia y la libertad. And I'll tell you what, tomorrow we're going to retire Charlie Crist. Vamos a retirar a Charlie Crist mañana. And what did we do anyway? What did he tell us he did in Congress?
Losers.
He's gone to Cuba. Do you believe in that?
No.
For me, pa' arriba, pa' abajo, Charlie.
Oh.
And what about his radical communist sympathizing right hate Carla She mourns the death of Fidel as a
Eso.
political figure. And she says that yo
Dale,
era
Mark.
una arrepentida. So guess what? She wants to revoke my Latina card.
No.
The only thing that's being revoked here is from the city of Hialeah. They don't want her as a resident.
Yay!
So as we look to the future, as we look to protect your freedom, as we look to the importance of what Ron DeSantis means, not just for Florida, he's created a movement here. He's created a movement that protects your liberties. And that movement, you can hear it all across this country. When governors follow his lead, because he's a man of courage, he's a man of conviction, he's a man of principle, and he's going to fight for you.
Yes.
So are you with me?
Yes.
¿Están conmigo?
Claro.
Ronald Reagan once said that freedom is just a generation away from extinction. And that is true. With what we're seeing with Biden, the disaster that he is, open borders, inflation 40-year high, gas prices through the roof.
Look at this.
We need Ron DeSantis fighting in Florida.
Yes.
And we need our First Lady, Casey DeSantis.
Yes.
Who here hasn't voted yet? Faltan todavía gente por votar. Mañana tiene el compromiso para reelegir el gobernador DeSantis. Let's make sure that we can fight the good fight, that we can keep the faith, and we can finish this race.
They'll probably be back when the pitch gets here. Probably want to come to probably want to shadow him. I mean, very effective over on it. Yeah, there's security now. I'm sure there's some security back there.
That governor's eyeball of opposition.
It's the vice president of the state.
So I just put them on.
Yeah, what time are you thinking? What time are you gonna be voting? I'm running early and then getting lunch, so we can leave at 1. Five? We can leave at 1, we'll get there at 5. I don't want to rush. It's fine to pull I want to be there. If you really want to get a paper, but it's not one of those.
Hialeah, are you ready to see your governor? Let me hear you. Are you ready to keep Florida free?
It's not a big cover sticker. Okay, so just quick smiling. Vamos. Thank you. So I have chocolate. So I'm going to be on my phone. I'll screenshot it. It's my wife. Oh. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, okay. Yep.
Bueno, acá in a few minutes. El gobernador está llegando en unos minutos.
I'm pretty sure they'll be back before DeSantis gets there. Wants to meet him in Walton. Yeah. And it might be a different detail. Not only. It's different walking versus standing still. Yeah, get the payments.
Yeah, I don't want to say something bad about it.
No.
Please give a warm South Florida welcome to your governor, Ron DeSantis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm South Florida welcome to your governor, Ron DeSantis.
To make sure that tomorrow's the day we finally retire Nancy Pelosi.
Yes!
Will you help me send tired, worn out old donkey out the pasture? Well, thank you all. It's great to be here. We're looking forward to a great day in Miami-Dade tomorrow. How many of you have already voted? That you know that hasn't planned to vote, get them out to the polls. We need everybody to make their voice heard. We got a historic opportunity to do great in this county and do great all across the state of Florida. And why not? If you look at what we've been able to do in Florida, we've led the way in this country on so many different issues. And you look at how they had with COVID in, and you saw how some of these other states were approaching this, locking kids out of school, violating people's rights, forcing shops, doing all these different things. You saw freedom withering on the vine. In Florida, we held the line for you, for your family, for your Think about not having kids in school for a year like they did in some of these other places. Massive learning loss, and a lot of them have totally fallen off the radar. In Florida, we did it much differently. They just had the results for nation's report card. We're number 3 and 4 in the nation for 4th grade reading and math. Number 1 when you control for demographics in both categories nationwide. A lot of these other states had much worse performances, and so all this stuff really, really matters. Just think how many businesses we saved over the last couple of years. If you had California policies, what would have happened to all these people's jobs here in South Florida? Now, I mean, there's more jobs than people can fill because the economy's done so well down here. You got all these people fleeing. Honestly, like, there's a lot of people that want to come to Florida. Some of these other states have to pick up their game. We can't take everybody who has to flee that state. We're proud of that. We're proud that our unemployment rate now in Florida is the 2nd lowest in the history of the state. We have the largest budget surplus in the history of the state. Second lowest tax burden per capita in the whole country, and we're going to do the biggest tax relief we've ever done next year. We're going to do for all our commuters 50% reduction in tolls, which is going to be. And I see the mama signs for our families. We're going to do permanent tax-free all baby items, diapers, wipes, towels, strollers, cribs, tax-free. No one has to pay taxes on that. So we're going to continue to work hard and build momentum on that. We also stood up for people's rights to make decisions for themselves when it came to these mRNA shots. We said no vaccine passports in the state. If you're going to go somewhere and you want to have fun, are you going to want to have to cough up medical records just to go get a hamburger somewhere? And think about what that would have done to tourism if we would have had all that stuff here. People wouldn't want to come visit if they weren't going to be treated as free people. Instead, we set a domestic tourism record in 2021. We had 45% of all foreign visitors to our entire country. Kingdom of Florida. And why not? If you want to take your hard-earned money and go vacation in a place like San Francisco, you want to go have dinner, you walk, and first of all, you may be dodging feces in the street. It's disgusting. And then you have homeless everywhere. You have criminals that'll mug you. And then you get to the restaurant, and they make you cough up your medical papers or make you force. No, people don't want to do that. They knew that if they took their hard-earned money and came to the state of Florida, they could live and they could be free. And that's why we've done well there.
Yes.
And the same thing with people here being able to make their own decisions. They wanted to take, from Biden on down, they wanted to take, and there were local governments in Florida that wanted to do this too. They wanted to take cops, firefighters, nurses, all these people, and they would lose their job if they didn't get COVID shot. And that's wrong. And we understood that people have been working so hard, they were viewed as heroes, and all of a sudden they were going to be cast aside. That didn't work in Florida for us. We called this a special session of the legislature. We did not allow employer mask mandates. And we said, you have protections. You should not have to choose between a job you need and a job you don't want. COVID shots to the childhood immunization schedule. The fear is that if they do that, then states, local schools will use that as a pretext to mandate COVID shots on school children. In Florida, our Surgeon General, Dr. Joe Ladapo, that for young kids, and because it's not a proven benefit, you have heart inflammation, a lot of teenage boys will get that. So that's his recommendation. People are free to make decisions, but parents should not have this imposed on
election in many parts of this country, but not in Florida. We saw this coming. We had the legislature come in last year. We worked with them, and we passed legislation. No COVID shot mandates for school children are allowed. Leave our kids alone! Now, we had a visitor down here in South Florida last week from Washington, D.C., I saw. I didn't know he was coming down, and then I got a report, hey, there's been an elderly fellow wandering around aimlessly in the streets of Miami. I said, oh, it's okay. So he came down here, and honestly, I'm happy he did, because it reminds all the voters of Florida about how destructive his policies have been, and the fact that the Democrats in this state are vote with him 100% of the time. Let's go, our problems we face as a country. You look at the inflation at a 40-year high. You look at the open border. You look at the energy problems that we have. All of those problems did not just materialize out of thin air. They were all problems that have been created by Biden's very own policies. He is causing this with borrowing trillions of dollars and spending when he was born. That's triggered the inflation. He opened the border, and now you had last fiscal year over 90 suspected terrorists come across the southern border. And that's not me saying that. That's his own Department of Homeland Security reporting that. And of course, with energy, he's cracked down on our own ability to produce oil and gas, which is causing all the energy needs, not just your gasoline and your utility bill, the things you buy, the cost of fuel goes into all of that, so you're paying for those policies. And what does he want to do? He wants to beg Maduro for more oil. He wants to beg the Saudis for more oil. Give me a break. Not only is it bad for all of your pocketbooks, it's also bad for our national security. We need energy independence.
Yes.
And what does he say? What did they do in Washington for the inflation? They passed a bill that they claimed was going to help with inflation. They named it the Inflation Reduction Act. The problem is when you looked at the bill, it didn't do a doggone thing about inflation. But what it did do is it created 87,000 new IRS agents. And I can tell you, those IRS agents are not going to be policing limousine liberals in Martha's Vineyard. No. They're going to be going after working people who can't afford accountants, can't afford lawyers, and they're going to bring the heavy hand of the government on them. And I look at that and I think, 87,000 IRS agents, every member of Congress who voted for that should be required to be audited every year.
Yes.
And I would say, if you have 87,000, we need 87,000 Border Patrol agents. Maybe something federal from coming into our country. And you can't see care about any of that. I will say this. Seeing pieces of legislation like that should make us have equal motivation, even more motivation to go out and once and for all send Nancy Pelosi back to San Francisco. I thought she had been retired after the 2010 election, and she came back. It just shows you we really do need term limits for members of Congress.
Yes, of course. We need that.
So I was up last weekend, about over a week ago, I went up to New York State, and I was campaigning for our governor candidate up there, Lee Zeldin.
Let's go, Zeldin!
First of all, I think you do a great job. I was happy to help. But as governor of Florida, and you guys, we are affected in Florida by these other races for governor and mayor. I mean, just think, like, Georgia governor's race. You have our governor there running against Stacey Abrams. And I don't think it's going to be a problem, but if Stacey Abrams were to get elected governor, it would absolutely lead to more Georgians fleeing for the state of Florida. No question. That would absolutely happen. When de Blasio got elected mayor of New York York City. You had a massive influx in property purchases in South Florida, and the market went up because people were fleeing. Honestly, they fled at the right time because he destroyed New York City with his leftist agenda and his leftist policies. So these elections affect us, and I think we've seen already the poor governance in New York, how that's affected Florida, because people have fled. Has anyone here fled from New York to Florida? Yeah, we have a few people. And so, why? It's because they have failed leadership there, and we get it done here in Florida. Think about this. We have millions of more people than New York State does, and yet our budget is less than half the size of New York's budget. Yeah, New Yorkers come down here and say, wait a minute, you have better roads, you have better services, better infrastructure, and we know we have higher performing education, both K-12 and state university. So where is all this money going that they're spending? They're taxing people like the Dickens. They're driving businesses out, very disrespectful for hardworking people, and yet they're not getting anything for that. Contrast to Florida. No state income tax. Second lowest debt. Second lowest debt per capita ratio. New York has one of the highest debt per capita. Budget surplus. And we respect taxpayers. We want small businesses to succeed in Florida. And so we're attracting, we've led the nation since I've been governor in new business formations. And we've done that every year for a number of years. So our leadership is showing how you do it right. New York is showing how you do it wrong. And also just think about basic management. You know, we had the hurricane come through last month, category 4, almost 5, Hurricane Ian in Southwest Florida. And there was a whole bunch going into it. I mean, we had 42,000 linemen staged in Florida. There were millions of people whose power got knocked out. And you have the fastest restoration of power that any major hurricane has ever seen. And that's had massive numbers of search and rescue personnel ready, including urban search and rescue teams from South Florida, Florida National Guard mobilized, Florida Fish and Wildlife. We work with the Coast Guard, local law enforcement, fire, you name it. Thousands of rescues effectuated the minute that storm passed. But the storm did a lot of damage, including knocking out an entire bridge to Pine Island and severing the Sanibel Causeway in 3 different places. So those residents were told it's going to be 6 months to a year before you're able to get transportation back. And they just couldn't survive if that were the case. They would have to leave the island. But they didn't want to do that. That's their own. They came to me and said, Governor, can you help us? Now, these are not state roads or bridges. We don't control, we don't own. They asked for help. I'm like, yeah, I'll help you. I said, look, I got a budget surplus. I don't need the feds. I'll do it. What can we do? And they wanted to get that restored. And so we said, all right, 6 months isn't going to work. Is there a way that we're able to do it sooner? We put our heads together. No bureaucracy, no red tape. Started the bridge.
Yes.
And finished it in 3 days. Now, do you think that if that had happened in a state like New York, that they would have been able to restore in 3 days? If there's anybody here who thinks they can do it in 3 days, please talk to me. I want your contact information because I'd like to sell you oceanfront property out in Arizona. Of course they would be able to do it. It's the difference between active leadership, strong management, and just getting mired in bureaucracy and red tape. So we'll continue to lead the way on that. We're happy to do. We're also very happy with what we've been able to do on education in the state of Florida.
Yes.
And just the fact that you go back to 2020, I was like, look, from hell or high water, kids are going to be in school. We got to make it happen. And they all opposed me on that. Media, the left, they wanted to do it. You got this running mate now. She was protesting to try to close the schools, claiming that all the kids were going to die from being in school. How crazy is that? So we stood up for parents, we stood up for kids, and you look back on that, They were wrong and we were right. We also have taken a strong stand in favor of the rights of parents with respect to the education of their kids. You have the right to be involved in the education of your kids as a parent. You have the right to have transparency about what curriculum is being used in your kid's school. The only people that don't want curriculum transparency are people that think that parent involvement is going to make it harder for them to use the schools to indoctrinate kids. That's the only reason why they want to do that. So we believe in parents, we believe they matter, we believe they're integral and important. We also believe that we want kids to be educated in the state of Florida. We don't want partisan operators to be using our schools to impose a partisan agenda on our kids. And you see, they try to do that.
Yes.
That's why we've done things like ban critical race theory.
Yes.
We are embracing the founding principles of America, teaching kids about the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights, instructing them about what it means to be an American citizen. That's what we have to be doing in the schools. And we're also comparing how good we have it here without our founding principles with other systems of government. And in fact, today is the first day since I signed the legislation. Now in the state of Florida, every November 7th is going to be a day for the state to reflect on and kids to learn in school about the victims of communist regime. We're going to teach the children about Marxism and Leninism. 100 million people dead because of Marxist Leninist regimes. They need to know that, and they need to be taught the truth about communism. And they are going to learn the truth here in the state of Florida.
Yes.
We also want to make sure, so my wife was up here with me. We love Casey! So we got a 5, a 4, and a 2-year-old at home. And so we're sensitive with parents. Raising kids is not easy. And we very much do not think schools should be injecting inappropriate material into the classroom. We want our kids to be awake in class, but we don't want them to be woke in class.
Yes.
So we had this fight with the legislature about saying you can send your kid to elementary school in Florida without them injecting sexual matters, gender ideology into their curriculum. And these are like 6, 8, 9-year-old kids. They should not be having this in there. And you think that was just common sense, because even 5 years ago, nobody would have even thought to do this. But they are doing it in other parts of the country. Don't let them tell you they're not. They are. And so the Parents' Rights in Education bill was opposed by the left. It was opposed by corporate media outlets. But the left, well, that's the thing. The left understood, because they ran elections and tried to get your vote saying, what we really need to do to improve education is to teach 8th graders that their gender is a choice. You would not like that. You would not vote for that kid, and they understand that. So they thought that they could get a company like Disney to come out against it, that could deep six it. They thought there's no way the governor would be able to sign the bill if Disney, because they're so powerful, wants to do it. And the truth is, not a bad theory, because from the 1960s till the present in the state of Florida, anything Disney has wanted, Disney has basically gotten.
Yes.
Until now. We stood strong for parents, and we signed the bill into law. And we're glad that we did that. ideology run amok. And the fact that we're even, I had to do last year, 2021, and I'm happy to do it, but the fact that I even had to, I signed legislation in Florida protecting women's athletics. Yeah! I always think that you compete on the men's swim team for 3 years, and then you switch to the women's team, and you get the national championship over all these other women that have been working hard and training. Give me a break. This is ridiculous. And so we made sure in Florida, every girl, every women athlete is going to be able to compete on a level playing field. And now we're having, and it's sad we're having to do this, but you have a situation now in recent years, a big increase in physicians giving to minors puberty blockers and doing sex change operations.
Lock
They
them
will
up.
literally take body parts off. It's effectively mutilation of minors. And they claim that it's, quote, gender affirming care, but that's a euphemism. It's really trying to change somebody's body. And here's the thing, teenage kids, it's a tough time. You go through a lot. And what the science evidence says, most of the dysphoria with teens resolves itself by the time they become adults. And yet they want to permanently change people's body at age 15 or 16. It's wrong. And so
Can't even get a
we have
tattoo.
work in Florida to say that is not appropriate here in our state. Our Board of Medicine has now acted, and so going forward in Florida, a physician that does puberty blockers for minors or these sex change operations, that physician will lose his medical license. And look, all it is woke ideology infecting the practice of medicine. This is not evidence-based. They're putting ideology in. And that's the thing. We've really been fighting this woke agenda across the board in the state of Florida. We fight the woke in corporate America. We fight the woke in schools. And we fight the woke in the halls of the legislature in Tallahassee. We in Florida will never, ever surrender to the woke mob. So, as you get ready to go to the polls tomorrow, or if you've already voted, as you make some last-minute calls tonight, tomorrow, to drag some people out, you go to work. If everyone hasn't voted, make sure they come out and vote. Work for us over these next 24 hours. We have a chance to do some great stuff in the state of Florida and do really great stuff here in this county, and we got to get it done. But as you're doing that, just reflect. 4 years ago, we were half a percentage point away from having a much different future in the state of Florida. And if I had not run governor, you'd be looking at states like California, Illinois,